So as we're sitting in the middle of statistics, we're going to talk about the shapes of functions for a minute. And the reason why is because scatter plots can take the shape of any kind of function. So we're going to be focused on linear and exponential functions. But you need to know the general shape of the common functions that are used in math. So linear and exponential look like this. We've talked about both of these functions already. Linear looks like a straight line. An exponential has that really sharp curve where we have an asymptote involved. Most of the scatter plots that we are going to be working with are going to be these two. The ones where we're going to come up with the equation, when I say we, I mean our calculators will come up with the equation for us, are going to be these two. But you may be asked to identify some of the other ones. So here's the names of 6 commonly used functions in mathematics. So we've got linear and exponential, obviously. Then you've got this U shape, which is quadratic. You've got the cubic, which has this squiggly mark to it. Absolute value, and I remember this because the V in value, it kind of looks like a V. And then you got square root, which if you look at it, kind of looks like that square root symbol. Alright, so linear, it's a straight line. Exponential's got that sharp curve. Quadratic, it curves up on both sides. Cubic, it's got that squiggly S. Absolute value looks like a V, and square root just kind of curves off to the side. So this is what your scatter plots would look like. So if you take a look at these scatter plots, you've got, kind of looks like a straight line, has that sharp curve of an exponential, looks like that quadratic, the cubic as it swirls down, your absolute value, which has that V shape to it, and your square root, which is curved off like this. Now if you take a look, these two look really similar to each other. Your quadratic and your absolute value might be hard to distinguish the difference between those two. Also, your square root function, if you imagine drawing a line straight through there, you could almost make that look linear. So as we continue, we're going to be looking at these types of scatter plots and learning how to tell the difference between what is going to definitely be linear and exponential versus what would really be a quadratic. If you take a look at this quadratic and this side of the exponential, they could almost be confusing. But just so you know, these are the shapes of functions that you will need to know about before your next class.